They built 96 homes thinking they owned the land. Families moved in, money was spent. Then, in a quiet courtroom, the real owner pulled out one document the HOA never checked. One page, one signature. And suddenly, an entire neighborhood didn't belong to them anymore. I heard this story from a guy who worked county records, and I swear it still sounds unreal. There was this landowner, quiet type, inherited acreage that had been in his family for generations. One day, he drives past his land and sees survey flags. No warning, no notice. A few weeks later, construction crews roll in like they own the place. Turns out an HOA had approved a massive development, 96 homes, right on his property. Most people would have lost their minds. He didn't. He went home, opened his safe, and pulled out the original deed. Then he did something no one expected. He waited. The HOA was confident, too confident. They had permits, plans, county stamps, everything except actual ownership. When the landowner contacted them, they brushed him off, told him their lawyers had it handled. That's when he decided to stay silent. He didn't block the crews, didn't file an injunction, didn't say a word publicly. Friends told him he was crazy, but he understood something most people don't. Every brick they laid without permission increased their liability. Let them build, let them spend, let them commit fully to the mistake. Months passed. Foundations became homes. Families started touring the properties. Kids played on streets that technically didn't exist yet. Some neighbors noticed the landowner watching from a distance. He took photos, logged dates, saved every email. When the HOA sent him a cease and desist accusing him of interfering, he laughed and added it to his file. Behind the scenes, he hired a property attorney and ordered a full chain of title review. It came back clean. No gaps, no transfers. The land had never left his family, not once. The mistake came down to arrogance. The HOA relied on an outdated subdivision plat and never verified boundary surveys. Someone assumed the land was included. Nobody checked the deed. By the time doubts surfaced internally, too much money had been poured into the project, so they pushed forward, hoping speed would protect them. That's when the landowner finally filed suit, not for a stop order, but for trespass, damages, and declaratory ownership. The legal world took notice immediately. The first hearing shocked everyone. The HOA arrived with boxes of permits and contracts. The landowner showed up with one folder. When the judge asked why he waited so long, his attorney answered plainly, because the scope of the trespass matters. The HOA argued bad faith. The judge wasn't convinced. Ownership doesn't expire because someone builds fast. That hearing opened the door to discovery, and discovery wrecked the HOA's case. Emails surfaced showing internal doubts, rushed approvals, and ignored warnings. One message literally said, "We'll deal with the land issue later." Contractors admitted they never saw proof of ownership. County officials admitted the map wasn't clear. The HOA tried to shift the narrative, claiming fairness, community impact, and emotional harm to buyers. But fairness doesn't override property law. Public opinion split. Some called the landowner cruel. Others called him a legend. He stayed silent through it all. Trial day was tense. The HOA led with emotion, families, homes, investments. Then the landowner's attorney stood up and displayed the deed on a screen. Book number, page number, recorded decades earlier. Survey overlays matched perfectly. The judge asked one simple question: does the HOA dispute this deed? Their lawyer hesitated. That hesitation said everything. You could feel the room shift. What had looked like a moral debate suddenly became a legal certainty. The HOA threw everything they had left. Adverse possession, estoppel, necessity, none applied. You can't accidentally steal land by mistake, and money. The judge made it clear. If building fast created ownership, no property rights would be safe. The decision was reserved. Outside, buyers were panicking. HOA board members avoided cameras. The landowner went home and waited again. The ruling was devastating for the HOA. The court confirmed the landowner owned every inch. Construction was unauthorized. Damages were discussed. Demolition was on the table. The HOA collapsed under the financial weight and filed for bankruptcy. Buyers sued them. The county corrected its records. All of it traced back to one skipped verification, one unchecked deed. Here's the part most people don't expect. The landowner didn't evict families. He negotiated leases. Then sales. Fair prices. No revenge. Just control. The story spread fast in legal and developer circles. Verify before you build. Paper beats concrete. Speed doesn't beat truth. He never shouted, never rushed. He just let them finish construction, then let the law speak for itself.